What's the crack, lads? Welcome back to the DFG Sports channel. And it's been around a year since I've uploaded any videos here to YouTube, and I've decided that I'm going to do just a quick channel update as to what happened and why there was a year-long hiatus, and I suppose just to show you guys, or to tell you guys, what we'll be doing going forward. So the first thing I'm going to obviously talk about is what happened. So last year, um, I stopped. I think my last post for a YouTube video was like in October, and the whole reason why I started YouTube was just to have a creative outlet. But the main reason was because I had a public speaking, I suppose, arrangement um, that I wanted to practice for, and YouTube was the best thing I could come up with because this is kind of practicing public speaking without actually publicly speaking, And I wanted a way to practice and get better at it because I'm not very good at public speaking, and it did its job. And I did my speech, and it was great. I was really happy with it, and then I kind of just decided the plan was to just say, okay, well, I'm done with YouTube now. It's lived its purpose, even though it was a nice creative outlet. I do like to have those. But I was going to finish it, but then it kind of came to the point where I actually had a little bit of a following. I was getting people to watch the channel. I felt like the channel was growing reasonably well, so I continued it, and that happened around June last year. My channel update last year in July was actually right after that period of me deciding that I'm actually going to keep on working with YouTube. And during that time, there was a significant amount of time where I was away from work, and after I came back from work, it just wasn't really working for me. I thought I wanted to get a new job, so that's what I did. I said I got a new job. And I went from being on a Monday to Friday job to a shift work job. And I didn't take into account how much time it was going to take me to actually get into the to get used to being on shift. And it took a significant amount of time because I'm not I'm not 18 years of age or anything. You can't just you know and it's a big change in someone's life to go and change jobs, so it's taken me a while to kind of get to a point where you're getting enough sleep and you're making sure that you're not sleep deprived and stuff. And although I never thought that I was during that the first few months of this job, I still wanted to make sure it was right. And just there were so many things happening over this time period as well that I never really got the chance or the opportunity or even had the motivation to try and make YouTube videos because I was just so concentrated on what was happening in life at that point. But now I've decided that I do need creative outlet, and the best way to do that is YouTube. I've already got it set up. It's ready to go. I just need to start posting videos again. So that's what I'm going to do. And I've decided that we're going to continue the series that we were doing before. This kind of moves into what's going to happen with the channel. Obviously, with me being gone for 10 months, a lot of the games that we were playing were old games, and even then they were old games. When I stopped posting, like EAFC, which is the game you're playing here, I don't have the 25 version. 20 EAFC 26 is coming out soon. I'm not 1,000% sure on whether I'll get that, but there will be new series. But I will also be ending some of the old series that were going in last year, and there'll be some continuations of series as well. I will update you and say that EAFC the 24, the Dundee FC career mode is going to continue. Reason being, I'm not a huge fan of the new scouting system in EAFC 25. I think it's too like specialized. It's too specific. I prefer a more broad way to scout. But um, we will be going back to that, and we'll see what EFC 26 brings. Maybe there'll be a new series on that. So where the channel goes from here, like past what we're doing now, is really just I want to kind of maybe start doing some streams. Maybe we'll go on to Twitch for that. But I'd also like to play just some normal, regular games. I'm not necessarily, tied down to sports games. I'd like to do some. I'd probably be more inclined to do some live streams on other games rather than sports games. But we can see what we can do. As I said, a lot of games are going to come out soon that we can play and um, that we can use for some new content. Um, EFC 26 is coming out, as I said. The new college football game is out, which I haven't really looked at yet. But I will definitely be looking what what new games there are and what new games will be something that I'll be interested in. I also like to do some like one-off things. I've got some old video games of sports video games that we could possibly take a look at. Not quite sure if anyone's off the top of my head. But we'll take a look and see what's there, and see if we can go back to go back in time for a bit and see if we can um, play some of those. One of the things I do want to mention is that even though I do have a lot of plans in upcoming for new content and stuff, one of the things I think I got out of hand when I had the first run of with this YouTube channel is just having too many series going at the same time. Too many, slow, not fast moving content, when in reality I need to have my content move a lot faster. Like the Dundee FC series has kind of moved the fastest, gone through 3 seasons, and that's even including one season that we're on to our third season. That's including that's not including the one season where I got fired. But things like the FIFA 23 series that only got through that hasn't even got through 2 seasons yet because I was only doing 3 matches a game, even though I thought that was a good format. I only got through a few games with both of the college football series, and that's not really what I want to do. I want my content to move a lot quicker. I thought that the baseball content was actually probably one of the best because there are certain points in the seasons that you can get to that you can earmark for each episode, and I think that that's a really good way to do that. But I do think that I need to take a look at my content and look at my format and make sure I get through things quicker. Doing keeping it to 5 games or whatever, instead of just doing as many as you want and keeping that to getting that down to a 20-30 minute video, probably not the best way to go through things when you've only got five matches, when you can do 10 and still get it within the time limit that you wanted to. So that's basically what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and get through my content a lot quicker. This will probably be the newer content, so to speak. There's also going to be different content. It's not all just going to be dynasties and franchises and career modes of slow moving. We're also going to do different types of content now. Or, as I said, I've looked at doing retro gaming content and stuff like that, which could do a few, maybe 2 or 3 episode video series where we go through an old Madden game and look at the old players or something, or things along those lines. And that's and there's going to be a lot of other content as well that I've kind of looked at that we'll get to at some point. But that's all things that get to in the future. So basically, this entire video is just telling you that there's more content to come. I'm back making video content. I've actually had videos ready to go with editing since last year. I just never edited them. So that just, you know, helps me to get a jump start here. I would expect a video up sooner rather than later. I do want to make a few more videos, maybe one or two, and have them ready before we go and kick off the channel again with full blown content again. Um, but that way, as I said, will come soon, and just keep an eye out for it. I want to thank you guys for your patience, and just if you do come back to the channel after 10 months of it being away, I really appreciate it. And hopefully we can build a community here for sports, and we can do other stuff down the line too, with talking about sports, doing some podcasts or whatever. There's lots of things that we can do. And obviously, I'll talk to you guys. You guys are the guys who are you know taking in this content, and if there's specific content that you want, you know say it. If you want to have a specific sport for me to do, and I've got some interested in, there's some games out there, and it's at a place where I can go get it and it's fun, then we'll certainly do it. I'll never you know turn away someone's request without actually doing some research into it. As we concede here in the last minute against Nottingham Forest in just an exhibition game. This isn't anything. This is just something to be going on in the background while I talk about the channel and so on. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. As I said, keep an eye on the channel for more content, for new content. It's coming soon, and I hope you enjoy it. So, have a good day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.